shadows in the crowd. Chapter 1. The Flames of Dissent. The city was ablaze, not with fire, but with the fervor of dissent. As I stood amidst the sea of protesters, my heart pounded in sync with the chants that filled the air. We were united, a force to be reckoned with, a voice that demanded to be heard. Suddenly, the air grew tense. The police had arrived, their stern faces a stark contrast to the passionate crowd. I could feel the danger, the threat of violence hanging heavy in the air. It was time to run. As I darted through the crowd, my heart pounded in my chest. Fear and adrenaline coursed through my veins, pushing me forward, urging me to escape. The city I knew so well had turned into a maze, its familiar streets now a battleground. In the midst of the chaos, I spotted her. A girl, no older than I was, her eyes filled with a strange mix of fear and determination. She offered me a hiding place, a chance to escape the madness. Grateful and intrigued, I followed her, disappearing into the shadows. Chapter 2. A Chance Encounter. In the safety of the shadows, I took a moment to catch my breath. The adrenaline from the chase was slowly subsiding, replaced by a sense of surreal calm. The girl, Julie, she said her name was, watched me with curious eyes. There was something about her, a kind of quiet strength, that drew me in. Her presence was comforting, a beacon of light in the midst of chaos. Over the next few days, we stayed hidden, moving from one place to another, always one step ahead of the authorities. The city I once knew like the back of my hand had turned into a treacherous labyrinth, but Julie navigated it with an uncanny ease. It was as if she knew exactly where to go, where to hide, where to blend in. We shared stories to pass the time, our voices barely above a whisper. I told her about my life, about the protest, about the injustice we were fighting against. I told her about my friends, brave souls who dared to stand up against the government. In return, she shared her own stories, tales of resilience and hope that resonated with my own experiences. I found myself opening up to her, drawn to her warmth and understanding. There was a sense of camaraderie between us, a bond forged in the crucible of shared adversity. I saw in her a kindred spirit, a fellow warrior in the fight for justice. One day, I decided to introduce her to my fellow protesters. I trusted her, believed in her. I saw in her a comrade, a friend, a beacon of hope in these dark times. As I made the decision, I felt a sense of optimism, unaware of the twists and turns that lay ahead in our journey. Chapter 3. New Bonds. The day I introduced Julie to my fellow protesters was a day of mixed emotions. There was a sense of camaraderie, a shared understanding that we were all in this together. But there was also a sense of trepidation, a fear of the unknown. We were, after all, a group of rebels, living on the edge, always one step away from danger. Julie fit right in. She listened to our stories, our plans, our dreams of a better future. She shared her own experiences, her own hopes and fears. There was a sense of mutual respect, a shared understanding that we were all fighting for the same cause. As the days turned into weeks, our bond grew stronger. We were more than just a group of protesters. We were a family, bound by a shared purpose, a shared struggle. Julie was a part of that family. She was one of us. But as we grew closer, I couldn't shake off a nagging feeling. A feeling that something was off. I dismissed it as paranoia, a side effect of living on the edge. But little did I know, my instincts were trying to warn me of a storm that was about to hit. Chapter 4. Shattered Trust. The storm hit without warning. The day started like any other, filled with plans and discussions about our next move. But by the end of it, everything had changed. It was Julie. She was the storm. The revelation about her true identity came like a bolt out of the blue. She was a government spy. She had betrayed us, betrayed me. The news hit me like a punch to the gut, leaving me winded and disoriented. I couldn't believe it. I didn't want to believe it. But the evidence was right there, undeniable and damning. My friends, my comrades, were arrested. Their dreams of a better future crushed under the weight of betrayal. I felt a sense of despair wash over me, a feeling of utter helplessness. I had trusted Julie, let her into our lives, into our plans. And she had used that trust against us. As I sat alone in the shadows, the weight of the betrayal pressing down on me, I couldn't help but wonder, how could I have been so blind? How could I have missed the signs? Chapter 5. The weight of betrayal. In the aftermath of the revelation, I found myself in a cold, harsh cell. The safe haven we had built was no more, replaced by the chilling reality of prison. My friends were here too, all of us arrested because of a betrayal from within our ranks. I felt a profound sense of loss, a grief that was all-consuming. But more than that, I felt a burning anger. Anger at Julie for her betrayal. Anger at myself for being so naive. I had trusted her, and that trust had cost us our freedom. As the days turned into weeks, I found myself lost in a sea of despair. The world outside continued to move, oblivious to our plight. But we were stuck, trapped in a moment of betrayal that had shattered our world. I had lost everything. My friends, my purpose, my trust. But in the midst of the despair, I found something. A resolve, a determination to fight back. To not let Julie's betrayal be the end of our story. As I sat alone in my cell, the weight of the betrayal pressing down on me, I made a vow. A vow to fight, to carry on the legacy of my fallen comrades. Because the fight for justice, for a better future, was far from over.